Well, my friends, I'm here at ZIERSCH today in Germany, a company that started in 1974. Very excited to be here and talk about that. But we're going to start with the future because I have a really great friend here today. It's going to talk about how she got here, how she's involved, what the future looks like. Then we're going to step inside and take a factory tour just for you. And guess what? There's a machine inside that you're going to see for the very first time, and they've never let cameras in here before. So Saskia, so good to see you. Thank you for being here. I know how much you love cameras and the microphone. So let's talk about ZIERSCH, which we've made the mistake in the US and called ZIERSCH. So just so you know, I was educated. Hopefully that helps you as well. Saskia, let's talk about it. You're here. You've been a part of the company. We're going to talk about the future, the past, the machines. We're going to get technical today. I'm excited about all of it.
Hi Tony, and welcome everyone to our production site here in Germany. My name is Saskia, and I joined the family business nearly 2 years ago. I'm mainly supporting the business as the head of marketing and CFO. And I'm very glad to have you all here today to discover our products. We are a very international company that is producing high precision grinding machines. And we have lots of new topics to tackle. We are now the third generation working in the business. So together with my brother, I'm, let's say, driving the business forward. My brother focusing rather on the technical side, and I'm covering more the business side with my background in finance and marketing. So I would suggest let's head inside and have a look at our products and meet my father for the history part.
Oh, I can't wait to head inside. And just let me say for everyone watching, thank you for being another woman in manufacturing. We need more of you. And thank you so much for allowing cameras into your facility for the very first time. I'm ready to learn about the history. Are you guys ready as well? Before we get into the technical side of the machines, let's head inside. We made it inside. Frank's been kind enough to join us. We just heard from Saskia, such an amazing person in addition to the team. That's what family does. And this is a third generation family owned business. Frank, so good to see you. And thank you for letting us bring cameras in.
Thank you for coming, Tony and Caesar. We're happy having you here in our factory in Germany.
Absolutely. We started this in 1974. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. When my father moved from Berlin to start his own, close to Stuttgart, the grinding story started.
The grinding story started
50 years ago.
Let's start to take a slow walk because we have a lot of machines and a lot of topics, Frank. You've recently expanded into this building. You're here in Germany and really well known in Germany. And as we continue to spread the word across the world, we need to share with everyone the fact, if I'm going to keep this real simple, the fact that you can get one of the highest quality machines on the planet for a very affordable price. But your dedication to precision started over 50 years ago. So let's share a little bit about the story, the evolution of the ZIERSCH product.
Yes, my father started 50 years ago, first to become a dealer and an import of grinding machine. But it took him only a little time till he recognized we have to do something by our own, you know. In our body is oil emulsion circling, it's not blood. So we started with the grinding right away to produce one of the, let's say, highest grinding machines, precise machines in the world.
It's important to understand, and let's walk a little bit. I know we have Philip and Mario both going to go into grave detail about how these machines can really help your shops take off. We're currently in assembly right here, Frank. What do you think sets you apart from grinding machines out there, as you do have a very cost-effective yet reliable, rigid, precise machine? I'm not sure how you're combining those two things. I thought that was impossible, but you're doing it.
You know, grinding is very different to all other machine tools like machining, milling, like EDM, like high-speed cutting. For the grinding, you need patience. Patience is so important. And the combination of patience, of standardization, of organization, made it possible to be very successful even in the middle of Germany.
I like that you said patience because I'm still working on that. Are you a patient man?
I am patient man. I'm a fan of patience man.
That's good to hear. I'm still working on it. What I know about you guys being family owned and operated is that you focus on service and support. It's one of your greatest attributes is making sure that anyone who invests in this product is going to get a family environment in which they are taken care of. In fact, I saw your business card. Your personal cell phone is on there. So if I get a business card from you guys, I know that I can reach from the top to the technician and everyone in between, which is what people out there need right now.
Yes, you can reach us 24/7. Even in holiday or on weekends, we never shut off our mobile phones. And customer satisfaction is so important for this number one. Customer satisfaction and quality. And these are the two, let's say, main topics we are focusing on.
So let's talk a little bit about quality, because I understand that there's a labor shortage around the world. The manufacturing has been an invisible industry for too long. And the fact that your machines, you can have training in 2 days, and a mill operator or a lathe operator can hop onto your machine and run grinding as well, because it is flexible, and maybe simple is the wrong word, but it is simplistic enough for people to understand while still getting all of the quality that gives those folks out there exactly what they want. So let's talk a little bit about that discussion.
So you mean, you see, the operation of a machine is very, very important. And the time went by where one operator runs one grinding machine. That means we designed grinding machines which are very easy to operate, to run. So one operator can easily perform 3 or 4 grinding machines, because the machines are fully automatically, but very, very easy to set up the parameters and to start the grinding process to the end. There's no intermediate stop anymore needed, or where you make a measurement or calibration. You grind up to the number you want.
Yeah, I think that's important to understand as well. Now, this building itself, we're standing in about how many square meters? And this is a new building also, right?
Yes, it's a new building we set up 7 years ago with 3,000 square meters. We have 2 buildings. Here we are in the final assembly building, where we really were able to recognize and to consider all needed things to be very efficient and to create high precision grinding machines. For example, our floor, we can heat the floor, we can cool down the floor. We have cranes which we can combine to be very powerful together. We can set up all kind of machines, even the very, very big ones, up to 70 tons at every place. You don't see ventilation in our factory. That means we have no dust going around, no dust in the guideways, no dust in the bearings and so on. And this is very helpful to create really high precise grinding machines.
Yeah, I agree. And I love that what you've done with the floor, because I've seen other places where the floor is not structured in the same way and they have to move a machine over and over again. Now let's talk a little bit, if you can, because I know we're getting ready to meet with Philip and talk the details of some of these grinding machines. But let's talk a little bit, if you can, about what goes into these machines. What makes you unique as you look into the future, and as you have these partnerships around the world? What makes you guys unique when we think about grinding? Because we have a great audience out there that does grinding every single day. Some of them may know you already because the name is quite familiar, but some of them might be learning about you. So if you were going to tell them something that says, give us a look, check out our website, what do you think that would be?
I think that will be the wide range we have, from small machines up to very, very big machines. We have a range of surface grinder, we have a range of cylindrical grinder, we have strong and rotary grinder, we have vertical grinder. So we can really offer a wide range to all our customers. We are using high-end components from subcontractors, high, let's say, level subcontractors, starting from the guideways over the measurement system, over the magnetic chucks. We don't save money because we go that second level. That means we buy only high-class components to create the best grinding machines in the world.
You've also now reminded me of something else, Frank, and I'm so happy you did, and that's lead times. When we're talking about service, talking about the ability for people, I have heard, I don't know if I should be saying this because the voice of the people out there is saying this, but they have so many headaches where they'll need something yesterday or need something in 3 months respectfully or 6 months respectfully, and their lead time is 18 months, 24 months. What do you guys do differently to make sure the folks out there, when they make a purchase, they're going to get their machine fairly quickly?
You know, I'm a fan of standardization, and standardization is so helpful to go down with the lead times. That means let's say we set up a yearly production plan, which we work on monthly, and we start producing the machine without having a PO of an end user. And during our production time, we mainly find customers who fits into the production plan to give them a machine with between 2 and 4 months. And that is a very, very big advantage in the market, because once the customer decided to invest into the machine, he wants the machine as soon as possible to make money.
And that, my friend, is definitely key. We don't buy machines just because they look pretty. We definitely want to make money. I wish I could standardize some of my filming as well, but there's so many unique personalities out there, and I like yours, but I don't get to standardize quite as often as you do. But with that being said, third generation, family owned and operated. We're getting ready to move into that third generation. We got our friend Philip waiting for us over here. So Frank, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love learning this story. I know the audience does as well, but now we're ready to get technical.
Thank you, Tony. I will hand over to Philip.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Frank. You know, I don't know why, Philip, but that song, Physical, I want to get physical, but now I want to replace it with technical. So we can get technical. I want to get technical. Okay, Philip, I'm not going to sing to you anymore. I apologize for that. I apologize to you as well. I just love singing. That's how my brain works. Philip, I know what we want to do is get as technical as we can without giving away all your secrets, but allowing them to understand what this brand brings to their shop when they're ready to make that investment.
Yes, so we build very rigid grinding machines. For us, the rigidity in grinding is very, very important. So therefore, we have a heavy cast iron. We don't mix any materials to really have the same thermal coefficient in the whole machine. We have hand-scraped double V slideways in the X-axis. In the vertical and cross axis, we work with ball screw and also guideways from Bosch Rexroth with 3 running blocks, 65 millimeter. So you really see heavy and rigid parts.
I like that you said that, but I got to be honest, Philip. I got to ask the questions for the people watching, because they can't until they leave it in the comment section, right?
Yes.
Then we can answer their questions as well. But I know that they're already thinking, look, we were just talking with Frank, and he says that we have a very cost-effective system, and we just talked to you, Philip, and you just named a ton of things, including hand scraping, that make this a reliable, and you said rigid and precise machine. We're getting both cost-effective and quality all built into one. How do we do that?
That's why, because we are very, very well organized. We, as my father might told you before, we start a production plan at the beginning of the year. Every step, which you can see also here in our factory, is very well organized. So that's also how very cost effective, you know. And my grandfather started already in 1974, so we have a lot of experience in building grinding machines.
Yeah, my greatest way to learn is through failure, which I was born in 1978. Sorry for letting you know my age. And I've had a lot of that along the way. These things look cosmetically nice. I see all the feet here at the bottom. I see the base of the casting. I see the quality that comes off of it. I see the hand scraping as well. Frank also mentioned that one of the great attributes about ZIERSCH is that you can go from small to medium to large. Is this your large machine?
So this is, let's say this is our large machine, double color machine, but it's more the smaller one. So we built 3 different sizes. Yeah, that's about
smaller.
30 tons, small. So we built three grinding widths, different width. So this is 1,000 millimeter width. We do 1,500 millimeter, and we go up to 2,000 millimeter width. The length, we can go up to 5 meter or even above. You might also have seen the big grinding wheel, right? 600 millimeter diameter, and the width is 150 millimeters, so it's a really big one. We are running a 32 kilowatt spindle, so you have a lot of power.
There are a couple of components that I want to talk about, but I'm going to save it for the next machine because I know we can. Yes. And that's going to be some of the software here. some of the
Dressing unit.
the dressing unit over there, but I also want to make sure we get to every machine and we can share with the audience what's going on. So should we head that way?
Let's do that, Tony.
Ah,
Sounds good.
Thank you so much for allowing. I've already thanked your sister. I've thanked your father. I love a family owned and operated, and I love that you've never had cameras in here before, and you're willing to show the audience what's
course.
going on. I think that transparency connects with everyone out there.
Yes, that's very important because we don't have any secrets. Our products are great. We want to show it to the world, and we are very happy to have you here in Germany.
Thank you for saying that. Now, this is your evolution of the machine, right? This is the next model coming out next year?
Yeah, that's the next model, right? No, small joke. This was the beginning of my grandfather. He used to start build grinding machines, and this was the first one.
This is like late 70s, early 80s, maybe
Late
around
80s,
that
yeah,
time.
yes.
Obviously, my friends, just jokes. I make very bad dad jokes all the time. I hope you chuckle from time to time because we do want to make sure you're educated and a little bit entertained along the way. Now, this is the machine I was speaking about earlier. When we talk about dressings, we talk about software. I know you want to jump into that a little bit because Frank mentioned standardization. Standardization is so important for you guys because less than 10% of overall cost and sales is in service because they last so long and it's not what you're going after. You want everyone to be taken care of. So let's talk about some of the components that make this standardized, that make this simpler and allow people who, after 2 days of training, can go from a mill to a grinding machine.
Correct, yes. So this machine you can see here is our bread and butter machine. So, for example, to show you the dressing unit, we are big fans of that the dress is table mounted. We don't have let's say, head mounted. We like to have it on the table. Why? Because you're using the same axis that you're dressing. So over the years, they will always run parallel to each other, so the accuracy stays the same. If you have it head mounted, it's one of the dirtiest area there. You use different axes, and over the years you lose in precision. A second advantage is you can see the distance between the chuck and the dressing unit.
Mm-hmm.
We have enough distance, so that means you can use the whole chuck with a big part, high part, and you can still dress collision free, which is very important.
I think not only is that important, but it's also an understanding to say that I'm not limited by some of my parts. I can use the full table as well, right?
Exactly correct. And also a great advantage, you can see our long base. The table goes left and right, never above.
Never outside of the reach of the box itself.
Exactly, never outside.
Oh, I've seen that too many times also. Now let's talk about the standardized, let's say, interface here. Because, Philip, my immediate question when I see something like this is, am I limited with this versus some of the other software that's out there? And it's not. It's not limited at all. It's just standardized and easy to use.
Yes, it is not limited because we have, in the background, we have CNC axis, but just the operator sees the NC control because we are a fan of easy to use. You know, same with and our philosophy is that the grinder operator, he also needs to run the milling machine, or it might run over to the EDM machine, so he has to be flexible. So therefore, we did a very easy to operate control with not 1,000 buttons.
Yeah, okay, let me see if nope, I'm not flexible anymore. But I think it's important to understand what you just said, because I think majority of machine shops, grinding is over here, milling is over here, turning is over here, and all the people are typically running one cell or another. The ability to cross-train and be able to run each of those segments, and with simplicity, especially when we think about the current labor shortage skills gap we're going through and the limited amount of training, especially in the US where I live, there's very little apprenticeship programs. You do better here in Germany, but there's very little. So if I get somebody raw and fresh, I got to get them up to speed very quickly. So this seems smart to me.
Yes, correct. And you know, you have also many people which might have had a different job before, and now they find themselves in front of a grinding machine or milling machine. So it has to be simple for them.
Let's walk around the back because I know there's some areas we want to see. But to your point, I have interviewed people who came from grocery stores,
Yes.
as car mechanics,
Wow.
as I mean, you name it. They've come from those industries, and manufacturing has welcomed them into this world. As we slide over here, I want to segue into one of my frustrations. Is that okay, Philip?
Yes, go
My
for it.
frustration is if I buy a machine and that machine doesn't run when it lands on my floor, or if I buy a machine and then they're like, oh, by the way, you have to add this and this and this in order for it to work. Oh, my face gets red fast, Philip. But that's not how you guys work, is it?
No, our machines they come ready to grind. So you have a paper filtration system with a magnetic separator. The machine comes with a chuck, with a flange, with a grinding wheel, with a hydraulic unit to drive the X-axis. We have a oil chiller which comes with, because you know about temperature. We like to cool down the oil because heat is our enemy in grinding. So therefore the machine really comes ready to grind.
And all of this, I'm going to use the word standard. You said ready to grind, but this is the package it comes with. You're not going to try and sneak something in to charge me more later.
No, never, no. Big cooling tank, a lot of coolant. We like to work with a lot of coolant, which is important while grinding.
Something else I want to talk about, Philip, if we can, and we'll try and bring the cameras over here as well, is I see an area right in between the machine that's moving back and forth. And there's something about that, to my knowledge, that creates more or less pressure on some machines that you guys have resolved here. Can we talk about that?
Yes, so we have a moving column. As you can see, the column is moving, so you have the same pressure over your workpiece, and you don't have a drop-down effect. So over the years, this is the most precise, let's say, mechanic which you can have.
Yeah, I mean, I guess being around for 3 generations since 1974 working on this stuff, you've gone through some of what makes a machine less precise and figured out how to fix it, right?
Correct, very correct, yes.
Let's slide over here, Philip, as we see another machine, okay, I'm going to tell you a quick story. I'm not going to make it too long because the audience will get bored of me. But did you know I get very motion sick all the time? A merry-go-round going so slow. I mean, I have the worst. Anyway, this is what this reminds me of, is just a merry-go-round spinning. But we're talking details today. We're talking machining today. So what are we looking at here?
So obviously this is also a surface grinding machine, but with a rotary table. We have 2 versions, either with bearings or also hydrostatic. If you really search the micron, you go for the hydrostatic, but if 4 to 5 microns is enough, you can go with the normal bearings. Same here, same concept, moving column, high spindle power, 11 kilowatt in the standard. And also, which is standard in the machine, we have a linear glass scale in the vertical axis from Heidenhain for the exact positioning. Same, also fully automatic grinding cycle, fully automatic dressing cycle, same on all our machines.
I'm going to ask you a question that anyone who's in grinding already knows the answer to, but I want to ask this question for someone who might be interested to get into grinding. Where would I utilize, why would I invest in this machine versus, we're going to look at, by the way, we've already looked at 3, we got 2 more to look at as well, but why would I invest in this one versus the one we just looked at versus the first one we looked at? What industries, what areas, why would I make that selection?
Yeah, very good question, Tony. So we have a lot of customers which are using this type of machine, for example, for joints or for cutting blades, you know, more this type of parts.
I have one last thing before we head over to speak with Mario. I know he's waiting, and with Mario, we're going to learn, don't look yet, camera person, do not look, but there is a machine just to my right and the camera people's left that has really never been seen before. It came out during a time we all forgot about COVID. Yeah, exactly. And we're going to see it today, so I'm very excited about that. But before we move on, I'm seeing this again. It's standardization for you guys. So if your service team goes out to help someone, they can really work on everything, can't they?
they can work on the smallest to the biggest machine, which makes it very easy for us and also for the customer, you know.
Yeah, there's so many things I like about, well, I'll tell you the first thing I like, and we're going to get with Mario in just a second, is I like being able to do 99.9% of the things out there for a very cost-effective price.
Oh.
With standardization, no need for repair unless I smack. I mean, there's so much good about what you guys have put together here.
Thank you very much, Tony.
All right, well, I'm going to head over to Mario. You want to join me? You
Let's
want to
go.
pass?
Yes.
Have you ever run track and passed off a baton before?
No,
You're a
it's my
tennis
first
guy.
time. It's my first time. Come on.
Well, Mario's waiting for us. Philip, thank
So
you so much.
I will pass the micro to Mario.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Philip. Mario, good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
Philip hit on a lot of details. We talked on the casting itself. We talked on, let's just say we pretty much covered everything on those specific machines. So let's get machine specific. I recently ran a poll with our audience out there because I always want to give them what they want to watch, right? And a big part of that was let's get technical. So let's learn a little bit about this machine and what we're working on. What I already see is a standardized piece that I saw in the last two. So that's cool. But let's get into it, Mario.
Yeah. You know, as Philip mentioned before, we are friends of standards. And so because of this, we are also using, let's say, nearly the same control for the cylindrical grinding like on the surface grinding. This, our cylindrical grinding, our third feed we are staying on. We have these machines in two different sizes. This is the bigger one. It's a 1 meter machine, so we can grind parts up to a length of 1 meter.
Nice.
Yeah. The biggest diameter we can grind is 300, just for the outside, for the OD grinding. Fully automatic grinding cycles, but this with a easy to use PLC control system. We have full CNC access, but a very, as I said before, easy to use PLC control.
Mario, what would you say as we've shifted from surface grinding to cylinder, where, and I'd like to ask this question because there's a lot of folks out there in the world of grinding and they're all trying to decide what's going to work best for them. And I spoke with Philip, I spoke with Frank. I love standardization. I love the fact that I can do so much with cost effectiveness. I'm not in the, multi-million-dollar range, and you'd think I would be because it's German, right? It's German quality that comes with it. But what makes this machine stand out for anyone watching and trying to make that difficult choice of where to invest?
We feel free in our business we are. And our business is the medium price segment. You get a high precision, a very high precision. You get a very, let's say, close to fully equipped machine in the base price, same like the surface grinding. But this not for $500,000, This is our philosophy. Yeah? We will give the customer a very good machine, let's say automatic machine, but with not that big money.
I sometimes get stressed out when I see that big money. But I know that sometimes when we invest that money, we get maybe some capabilities we couldn't do by spending less money, right? In this case, we're getting the same capabilities. That's what I like, is the capabilities still exist and we're not sacrificing.
Yeah. The problem is, what is the business you are? You have the big players with you need the automation, you have parts, let's say millions of parts. You need time is a big thing. This is not the business what we are with these machines. Mm-hmm. These machines are great for the tool shop, for the mold and die business. This is the business where we feel very comfortable.
Well, since 1974, I imagine you expanded that comfort zone quite large. Yeah. But speaking of production and speaking of being able to do some sort of automation, Mario, should we slide over here? I promised the audience. Should we?
Should we?
I promised them
Let's
already.
go.
Maybe we
Let's go.
shouldn't.
Let's go.
Maybe we should just tell them they got to come visit. Should they just come to the facility instead?
Yes, of course. Every time. See it.
So this one is the machine that I promised for everyone watching out there. This one is more about production. This one is, well, they're all pretty fancy, but this one is that new one that was going to be released during a time a few years ago. So this might be the first time you've ever seen it. Mario,
You want to know more
We got
about this?
special. Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my gosh, yes. I see green lights. I don't think that's standard, but there's a lot going on inside of here.
This is there's some fancy things. let's say like this. You know, there was a time a couple years ago. I don't want to say the word.
No, nobody does
Everybody
anymore.
felt like in jail.
Yeah.
And this is the result of our let's say jail time.
Your jail time. You made this. Oh,
We made
nice.
this, yes. You know, we are some kind of crazy. Or no, we are crazy. So then we decided, why not develop a crazy machine? And you know, this is a machine. This is the first machine in our production with a full CNC control. Also from Mitsubishi. Yeah. But we have a patent on this machine. We in Germany we say we put the grinding process on the head. Normally in the grinding, in the cylindrical grinding, you're working from backwards to forward. But here we are working from top to the bottom, because to get every pressure, every vibration, everything what you don't want to have in the grinding process into the casting base.
That's smart, Mario. Looking at the last machine, there's lots of reasons to invest in that one for sure. But I understand what you're describing by saying our forces are being placed one direction, and now our forces are being pushed into the base, letting gravity do some of that work. And that to me is incredibly intelligent.
Correct. On this machine we have up to 8 axes. We have an automatic handling system from Switzerland. We have in-process measurement. We have 22 kilowatt spindle power, a 500 millimeter grinding wheel. We have a disc dresser from Germany as well. Yeah.
Is there anything you don't have on this machine? I guess
No.
that's why it's patented, right?
Yeah. No questions.
No question. No. But if you have questions, even though we've said no questions, if you have questions, leave them in the comments for sure. With this being a new machine that everyone's excited about, we have the bread and butter here as we've described, and this is the future. This is what the future looks like.
Absolutely, this is the future. This is we want to develop more and more and finding customers for these machines, and maybe in some years we will have a lot of more machines in the market.
Maybe in 5 minutes after this video releases.
Sounds great. Why not?
Well, my friends, this is ZIERSCH. This is 1974. This is third generation family owned. This is my buddy Mario. We saw Philip, we saw Frank, and we saw Saskia. Thank you so much for joining us on this tour. The first time cameras were ever allowed in. We promised you'd see something new. You got to see something new. You've seen the bread and butter, and you've seen the dedication that goes into a precision machine that you won't break the bank, that you can get into your facility from the die and mold and job shops. I mean, it works for everyone. If you're a small shop, a medium shop, a large shop, give these guys a call. Check out their website. It's worth it. Absolutely worth it. I'm here firsthand, and certainly give those guys a call. Mario, you did an amazing job.
Thank you
Let's
so
not
much.
tell the other guys that you did the best of all four. I'm just kidding. I can't do
Don't
that.
say that
We just have to have a little joke at the end. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you again soon. Mario, let's go look at some more machines. All right,
All right,
buddy?
we do like this.